Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Friday, June 3rd, 2016, and here are some of today's trends in the news. On the market front, over there in Asia, everything's up just a little bit. Over there in Europe, kind of like that. And here in the States, Dow down a bit, a little over 30. Oil, boop, down a little bit, but gold, bam, boom, up over 30. Yeah, wonder why. You know why. You heard it all week. We're waiting for them job numbers. We're waiting for them job numbers. So everything was kind of flat. And today, the job numbers for May came out. U.S. stocks closed slightly lower Friday as gains in utilities offset declines in financials after a sharp miss on the May jobs report. Hey, maybe they misspoke or misdeeded. No, they missed the number. That's right. They were looking for about 160,000 jobs to be created. Guess what? Only 38,000 were created. And again, you look at the ones that were created, pay no dough. Yeah. The market should have been down a lot more. They were down 150 right away, 148. And then they bounced back. Still a close low. Because here's some more negative news. The ISM non-manufacturing number came in at 52.9 for May, well below April's 55.7 print. The employment component fell to 49.7 from 53 in April. The final market service PMI was 51.3 in May, down from 52.8 in April, well below the post-crisis average of 55.6. But factory orders are up 1.9%. And everybody's saying, all right, we got to hear what Yellen's going to say on Monday. She said this on the other day when she was speaking to the Harvard people last Friday. Everybody was waiting for that. All they do is keep putting out these lines that are nothing more than...
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
Total horse shit. They keep putting out these Fed mouthpieces to keep derailing where things are going to go. You remember they were over like 50% all of a sudden that they were going to raise rates after their June meeting in the middle of this month. Now that number, after the lousy jobs number came in, it's now down to around 4%. Say they're going to raise rates, and let's get this straight. They're going to raise rates, what, 25 basis points? It'll be the second time of a rate raise increase in 10 years. Like that's supposed to be a big deal. And oil. You remember yesterday they came out at no agreement over there with the OPEC folks. Yep. But oil prices went down today a bit, around 1%, on the news of the weak economy. So we just forget that they had no agreement in OPEC, and we'll forget that the job numbers stink, because everything should be a lot lower. Oh, and by the way, on the oil front, folks, here we go. Remember how I kept saying that as the oil prices go up, the rig count is going to reverse and go up? How long have we been saying this? Guess what? U.S. oil closes 1.1% lower on U.S. rig count rise. That's right. Drillers added 9 oil rigs in the week of June 3rd, according to Baker Hughes. Oh, and to make the oil story worse, today, over there in Nigeria, you know, their oil production now is at 22-year lows. Guess what? It's going to get worse. Militants in the rest of Niger Delta region that produces more than half of Nigeria's oil claimed 3 new attacks on oil infrastructure, promising to bring the country's oil production to zero. So that's what's keeping the oil prices up a little bit. What's going on in Nigeria, problems in Libya, over there in Venezuela. But still, we're looking at the real economy, and it stinks. But you know what? You would never know it. Not by tuning in CNN, the Cartoon News Network, with these arrogant prostitutes with their bad attitudes. Here's what they're running. Major stories. Remember, job creation was 38,000. This should be blasted all over. Not a peep from the prostitutes. Here we go. Trump defends criticism of judge. Watch Trump's interview. Clinton, Trump deserves some blame for event violence. Read your Trends Journal. Remember, we said this is unprecedented, the amount of violence going on in presidential campaign. It shows you what's really going on in this country, because the fish rots from the head down, and we got some rotted fish heads, man. The Clintons, the Bushes, the Obamas. They love to slaughter people around the world. Violence becomes ingrained in the society. Just as we did the Trend Alert this past Wednesday, retail rotting from the head down. Gold jewelry, diamond jewelry, sales down. It rots from the head down, and it's going through society. But these are the headlines again. Clinton, fight for more equal America. Now, you know what that is.
Warning, warning, bullshit alert.
Every time these politicians open up their mouths, it's a bullshit alert. And again, we have to stop calling them politicians. It covers up the cowards, liars, freaks, and fools that they really are. In a city, county, state, or a federal, national, any kind of government near you. I think a more appropriate word is, and if you could come up with one to help me, I would like that. I think scumbags is a good name. But that offends some people. As they murder people, rob our money, they get offended when you say scumbags. Yeah, because only scumbags murder and steal. But if you could come up with a better one, I'd love to hear it. Anyway, going on to the headlines of the Cartoon News Network. As the United States creates only 38,000 jobs, and some reports are coming out saying that actually no jobs are created when you do different analysis. Oh, and by the way, the labor force participation rate way back to the 38-year lows. Anyway, moving on. Hawaii paradise trashed. U.S. women's soccer team loses in court. Boy left in the woods, found by parents. UCLA gunman's wife found dead. He found prints. It was chaos. That's just some of them. But let's look at USA Today. Muhammad Ali's illness brings worry, speculation. Why do celebs keep dying of drug overdoses? Why are Americans all whacked out on drugs? You don't have to stop with the celebrities, but I forgot. Celebrities and scumbags, politicians, they count more than we do when one of us dies. What is it? 5% of the world's population consuming 80% of the opiates? Could you figure that out? No, because you only look at celebrities and you only bow down to politicians because I forget. You're prostitutes. Prostitutes. What else they have over here? Julian Howe. Swimsuit competitions evolve. Hashtag Never Trump Republicans have new choice column. Embattled Nest CEO steps down. San Diego paper endorses Reagan over Trump. 3 Minneapolis men found guilty in plot to join ISIL. Again, nothing about what's going on, because this is global. All things are connected. It's globalnomic. Look what's going over there in China. Isn't the economy great? Well, here's what happened earlier today over there. China's all-important service economy, heralded as the country's key economic growth engine, decelerated in May. Caxton's Services Purchasing Managers Index, PMI, eased to a 3-month low of 51.2 from 51.8 in April. Business optimism slid to its lowest level so far this year. And remember, a reading above 80, above 50 shows a little growth, so it's just above it. Below 50 shows decline. But we don't have to go over to China. Let's go back to Japan. China's number 2, America's number 1, Japan is number 3. Maybe the prostitutes can't count to 3, but we'll add it up for them. You saw Japan's numbers come out, right? Yeah, exports down over 10%. Oh yeah, because the yen is strong. Hey, Katsun, if the yen is strong and Japan has to import a lot of stuff, so you got a strong currency, how come imports are down 23%? Could you add that one up? No, because it's 3. We only could add to 1. How about this one? Hong Kong's retail sales fell for the 14th successive month in April, down 7.5%. In March, they were down 9.8%. You don't like that one? Let's go over to South Korea. Exports contracted 6% on year, making nearly 1 year of straight declines. What else we got? Oh, we had Japan. Up, back to the job numbers. U.S. companies hired at the slowest pace in more than 5 years in May, and nearly 500,000 people dropped out of the labor force. Now remember, they were looking for 160,000, 38,000 were created. But here's what the White House, I love this guy's name. The other guy was Connie, the carnival man. Now they got Josh Earnest. Earnest about nothing. Earnest. Perfect name for an Orwellian loser, liar. Here we go. He said, quote, the White House doesn't get too excited or too disappointed about the numbers. That's right. You know why? Because go back to the liar-in-chief, the arrogant man running the nation who calls people like me, when they call him out, well, you'll hear his phrase. Here it is. When he talked about, in his State of the Union address, how wonderful the economy is.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction. I told you earlier, all the talk of America's economic decline is political hot air.
Yep. Fiction and hot air. That's it. Obama. Fiction and hot air. Lied his way into office, lying his way out. Again, here he said the United States of America right now is the strongest, most durable economy in the world. Yep. We're in the middle of the longest streak of private sector job creation in history. Ha ha. Liar, liar, pants are on fire. Okay. Since then, nearly 95,000 Americans are no longer in the labor force, which is almost a 38-year low, as I mentioned before. When President Obama took office in January 2009, 80,529 Americans were not participating. Last month alone, nearly half Americans dropped out, as I just mentioned. And there's a little another one here just to add on to it. Revisions showed employers added a combined 59,000 fewer jobs in April and March than previously lied to by us, the Labor Department. No, we just got the numbers mixed up. We didn't carry a zero. It's global. ECB plays down hopes on growth uplift. Today's Financial Times. Yeah, I wonder why more celebrities are dying with overdoses. You can see where this is going. There is no recovery. It's a cover-up. Go back to the cover of the Trends Journal, our top trends for 2016. The cover of the Current Trends Journal. Here you go. This is from Draghi. The ECB plays down hopes on growth uplift. The central banks, they've lit that fuse on that economic time bomb. Block grew 0.5% between fourth quarter of 2015 and first quarter of this year. Mario Draghi has cautioned that the pace of Eurozone recovery may be slowing as the European Central Bank kept interest rates at record lows. Quote, the risks to the euro area growth outlook remain tilted to the downside. That's right. They're tilted to the downside because we have losers leading. It doesn't have to be like this. We have the solutions. It's called self-sustaining economies. We've written about it in detail. But that's only my suggestion. You follow theirs. You know what I say. When all else fails, they take you to war. Listen closely. Those war drums are beating. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news.